Okay, so my name's Megan. I'm 24. I currently work for a software company in Bracknell. I don't really enjoy what I do. I just do it because it's quite good money. But in March, I'm going travelling to Southeast Asia for 3 months. So, yeah, I'm very excited for that.
Do you think about where your clothes come from in your wardrobe?
Probably not as much as I should do. There was that whole time, do you remember when Primark had that really big scandal about people finding out where their clothes are being made and everything? I think I thought a little bit more about it then. Sometimes I work in a pub and they have conversations as well, like at the bar, about where people's clothes are made, so that's quite interesting to know. But I don't think I really focus on that when I buy new clothes.
So what do you kind of focus on what are you thinking when you maybe walk into a shop or you're looking online?
So if I'm going for something that I know that I need, if it's just a basic thing, like I was like, I need a new white shirt or something like that, then I just focus on which one is the best one, probably quite cheap, if it's not for something important, and whether or not it fits me. If it's just like randomly shopping when I'm in the bath or something, I'd probably just look for more fashionable stuff, stuff that I'd wear every day or out at night. Doesn't really matter, but...
Would you maybe go a bit more pricey on something like that?
Yeah, probably. Especially if I was if it was for a special occasion, so like a Christmas party or an event or something like that, I'd spend a bit more money than if it was just everyday clothes. So I shop quite a lot at Boohoo, and New Look if I was to go on the high street. I don't really have I'm not one of those people that has a specific shop that I buy from all the time. I can pretty much shop anywhere as long as it's got something that I like and something obviously in your size. But then I also do quite a lot of shopping. There's this place local to here that's it's not really a charity shop because I don't think it goes to charity, the money, but it's basically second-hand clothes that people take there in bin bags when they don't want them anymore, and then they clean them, wash them, iron them, whatever, and then they resell them on. It's called the Clothing Warehouse. It's quite a cool little place actually, so I go there quite a lot.
Why do you go there?
I can't remember what brand it was for my boyfriend. It might have been Paul Smith or something, a shirt in there that was brand new for £6 or something, so that was quite good. They've got a range of all sorts of sizes, all sorts of styles. Don't get me wrong, there's some stuff that they probably don't if I needed something specific, I might not go there because it's not guaranteed to have it. But they also do huge fancy dress as well, so if I was going to a fancy dress party, it's quite a good place to go. It's easy to get to from where I live. I also feel like it's supporting that particular business as well, rather than just buying online. So it's quite good to go and have a shop sometimes rather than going online.
So how often do you find yourself buying new things and maybe refreshing your wardrobe?
I'm not really a girly girl in regards to lots of shopping. I don't often go for big clothes shops, I guess. I'll sometimes, like I said earlier, if I'm bored or whatever, I'll just randomly buy stuff, or if it's for a specific event. So I'll probably I wouldn't ever revamp my whole wardrobe, I don't think. I lost a bit of weight a while ago, so I had to buy a hell of a load new clothes then. But at that time I was I'm just going to buy quite a few second-hand clothes because I just didn't see the point in spending so much money in buying brand new clothes. So I would go to charity shops or the Clothing Warehouse, or I use Depop as well just to buy some new clothes, so that was quite cool. But now I'd say buying new clothes, I don't know, maybe 2-3 times a month.
But what's your understanding of what fast fashion is? Do you know what fast fashion is?
Probably not. It's probably a bit naive of me. I would guess that it's just being able to buy clothes quickly, but
yeah,
and in bulk maybe. I don't know.
Do you think that maybe you're quite susceptible to fast fashion? Lots of people are.
Yeah, probably. If that's what it means, like being able to buy stuff quick, cheap, yeah, like efficiency of actually buying new clothes and it arriving on your doorstep quite quickly, then yeah, 100%. Because if you need something for a particular reason, or you like a bit of clothing and you want it as quick as you can, then yeah, definitely.
Do you ever think about maybe what might be the environmental impacts of that?
No, I don't actually. I'm quite environmentally friendly conscious, or I have been a lot more recently, but that's something that I've never really thought about, so it's definitely something that I should probably start thinking about.
I'm not telling you off.
No, I've never thought about that.
So then, on the opposite strand of that, maybe what's your understanding of sustainability when it comes to fashion?
Yeah, I did.
So tell me about what that was.
So 2 years ago I went to volunteer in Ghana, and I volunteered in an orphanage. It was like life-changing, the 2 weeks that I was there. Complete culture shock for me, and really took me out of my comfort zone, because I like being at home, I like being in my home comfort, and I get really homesick, so to go away 2 weeks on my own was quite a big thing. Anyway, I keep in touch with some of the guys that still live over there. So they live in Ghana, they work for the organisation that I went with, and they're trying to set up their own organisation. So they come from pretty much nothing, and they're trying to do like really good work. And I spoke to one of them probably in October, and he wasn't asking me at all. They're not like that. He just basically was saying how they'd been out to a few of the communities and loads of the kids didn't have shoes. And in my head, it's just really hard to understand stuff like that, because I can look in my shoe department and I've got a shitload of shoes. So why should one kid not even have one pair? It doesn't make sense to me. So I decided to, at work, ask loads of people for donations, just any kids' shoes, adult shoes, anything. And then decided to expand it a little bit. So we also did clothes. So quite a few people brought in brand new clothes that had never been worn from kids. Like they still had the tags on. And things like wellies and trainers and school shoes, even though they've been used, these kids like really appreciate it. So we sent it over in the beginning of November, and it got to them just before Christmas, so it was quite amazing to see, really. And they handed them out to all of these kids in this community. So
does that ever make you kind of stop and think, why maybe do I have so much clothes, so many
yeah, definitely. 100%. It's unfortunate, it's all to do with money, really, isn't it? Like, I can afford to buy clothes whenever I wanted to, yeah. They can't. They'd probably rather feed themselves than buy the latest clothing. It's weird when you go over there as well, because some of like the markets and stuff like that, they'll sell really fake knockoff brands, but the like younger guys, especially over there, will wear it and be like, oh yeah, this is my like Armani t-shirt, and it's probably cost £2 equivalent here. So you know it's not real, but they still aspire to wear those brands. So yeah, it's quite eye-opening.
This is kind of not off topic, but a random question just kind of popped into my head.
Yeah.
But do you think that maybe do you ever think about brands and things like that when you're shopping, or?
Yes, sometimes, but I've never really been like that. So I have one of my friends is like so brand orientated. Like when we were at school, she'd never wear anything that wasn't like Jack Wills or Hollister or Abercrombie and Fitch, like all that stuff you wear when you're a bit younger, I think. Whereas I've never really been like that. As long as I feel comfy in something and it looks okay, then I'm fine. So it doesn't really bother me. Don't get me wrong, I love like my Michael Kors handbag that I've got, but I'm not all about the brand. So.
And if you can just kind of like reiterate the story to me,
okay,
and then we'll talk about maybe the impacts of fashion on that.
So I left uni in 2016, I think, and decided that I wanted to lose quite a bit of weight. I just split up with my boyfriend, so I was like, yeah, new me, woohoo! And I think just over a year, maybe a bit longer, I lost like 6.5 stone or something. I've put some of it back on now though, but I blame my new boyfriend for that, because he buys loads of rubbish food. But that obviously changed my fashion quite a lot. What, so start that whole bit again?
No, you can just carry on from where you were.
Cool. Yeah, so I was really bad at doing that because I'd still buy clothes in the size that I was used to buying, just because it becomes a habit, doesn't it? Like, you select your size. And my mum would get like really angry at me all the time because I'd be like, oh, can you just safety pin this for me? And she'd be like, buy clothes in your own size. So that was quite different as well. And it's interesting because I think you find as well, maybe it's got a lot less now, but previously, if you were buying plus size clothes, there weren't as much choice available to people. So when I lost weight, I found that I could start wearing like a bit more fashionable clothing and that was a bit nicer. Whereas I know that loads of brands now are, due to like social media and stuff, bringing out like plus size models and all this sorts of stuff. But I always do think that the clothing for smaller, more petite people is always a lot more fashionable and desired, I guess. But yeah, so
You still think that, like, with
yeah, probably I would say so. I mean, there are so many brands that are doing like really good effort, I think, for like bringing out more clothing and in bigger sizes for people. That's a lot more up to date and stuff that loads of people would wear, I guess. A lot more than there used to be. I guess when I was at uni, that it wasn't like that, so it was a lot different for me. But yeah, I think they're getting a lot better. It's just where you look, I guess, isn't it?
Do you think that, so that's maybe coming along, but then do you think that the sustainability side of it is maybe falling behind a little bit, so because they're in a rush to get these sizes out?
Yeah, and also because I think a lot of the like plus size clothing, like for example, I noticed this in New Look the other day. If you go into New Look, you've got like a whole floor for clothing for girls, well, not girls, women, in like sizes, I don't know, what is it, 6 to 16, I think. And then they've got the tiniest corner for the curve section. And you're like, well, that's not very fair, is it? Because that goes from like 16 to, I don't know, like 28, something like that. And that just puts it into perspective, doesn't it? Like how much clothing is available if you're a smaller lady than a larger lady. So that's quite interesting, I think, if you were to look at what fashion is available for different types of women.
So going back again, maybe when you were a lot bigger, were you conscious of where your things were coming from, or was it just a case of like, that fits me, that'll do, sort of thing? Like,
I think you have to be conscious because only certain brands will sell the sizes that you need. But I still do it now. I always wear baggy clothes. I'm just like definitely a comfort type person. So yeah, I probably was conscious about where I was buying it from, because obviously you want to keep up to date in fashion and you want to sort of keep up with all your friends and what they're wearing. But at the same time, you obviously want to wear stuff that you like, and you want to wear stuff that makes you feel comfortable as well. So yeah.
What about the like environmental impact side of that? Is that ever something that's kind of at the forefront of your mind? So you can say no.
Yeah, no, it hasn't been. No, I've never really thought about it. I mean, I think probably the extent to my thought about it goes is when you go shopping and you take your own bag or something like that, like to put your shopping in. So I don't really think I've ever thought about being economically friendly with fashion, which is...
Do you think it's something that you will go on to think about more?
Definitely after this conversation. I'm going to be like ripping all my clothes up my wardrobe. Yeah, no, going forward, I think it definitely is something. But because I do buy quite a lot of second-hand clothes, I don't see myself as constantly buying new clothing.